Hello and welcome to the Fox Performing Arts Charitable Foundation's Educational Encore series. I'm Tony Parise, writer, director, and choreographer.
And I'm Steve Neale, music director, arranger, composer, and accompanist.
If you are interested in musical theater, whether as a hobby or a career, you'll need to be prepared to audition. Steve and I are going to talk to you about all the things you need to consider when putting your audition together. But the first thing you have to understand is that auditioning is actually a complete separate skill unto itself.
That is right, Tony. That's right. It is not enough to be a great singer or a dancer or actor. You have to be great at auditioning. Many performers, I think, don't get the part because they don't audition well. Beyond assessing your talents, producers, directors, music directors, choreographers are looking to see how you conduct yourself, how prepared you are, how confident you are. They want to know that they're hiring people that are easy to work with.
And with today's musical theater economics, the singing chorus and dancing chorus have been combined. And there are very few small parts for character actors who don't also sing and dance. So this is a reality that means a performer should acquire as many skills as possible and at least be somewhat a triple threat.
Or a quadruple threat if you're talking about auditioning as a skill.
That's right. There are basically three kinds of auditions: open singing call, open dance call, and appointments for specific roles.
The open singing call usually leads to a dance call after a cut, and the open dance call will lead to individual singing after a cut. Usually the appointments will be followed by a cold reading and a movement call, if not a full-out dance call.
No matter what kind of call you are attending, the very first thing you should master is the ability to confidently walk into the room. Many auditions are won or lost by the way you enter the room. The people behind the tables form opinions immediately. So what they think of you in a first impression will carry through when you begin to audition.
So for the purposes of this sampler, we're going to focus on a basic open singing call and what things you need to have prepared. Let's assume that this is a general audition and not for a specific musical where you need to think about style and time period. At this audition, the panel just wants to see who you are and what your personality is like, as well as assess if you can sing. Finding two songs that fit your personality and voice is really critical. Usually it's expected that you sing an up-tempo song and a ballad. These songs should not only contrast in tempo, but also show two sides of your personality and hopefully two sides of your voice. Remember, show the panel as many skills as possible. Once your audition songs are selected, you need to prepare two versions of each, the full song and a 16-bar cut. Often you'll be asked to start with a full song and then be asked just to sing 16 bars of something that contrasts. And very rarely at an open call will you be asked to sing the full version of both songs. And then the next assignment is essential for a successful audition. You must have the sheet music in the proper key with the 16-bar cut clearly marked. You should also make sure that the lyrics on the music sheet match the ones you'll be singing. Most accompanists will be able to handle whatever comes their way, but you want to ensure that you've done everything in your power to make your audition successful. Your sheet music should be in plastic page protectors and in a hard binder that will stay open and stay on the piano.
When you have your two songs marked and in the binder, it will be time to think about what you will wear to the audition. Selecting your audition outfit is nothing that should be left for the day of or the last minute. As a performer, you are selling a product, and that product is you. You should find a look that projects your personality and who you are to the people for whom you are auditioning. This look doesn't have to be formal, it can be casual, but should always be neat and clean. You should feel comfortable in your outfit and you should feel free to move in it without restriction. Once again, we are talking about a general audition. For specific shows, you'll need specific songs and clothing choices, which is a topic for another day.
So now that you have your songs and your outfit, you need to create a resume to give to the panel.
Your resume should be very straightforward and easy to read. It should include your name, the one you want to go by, and your contact info. When listing your experience, the number one rule is to never lie. We directors know each other and often call each other to find out how a performer is to work with.
You should list the shows you've been in, where they were done, and what your role was, even if it was in the chorus.
You should also list your training and include a section at the bottom for special skills if you have skills beyond singing, dancing, and acting, such as juggling, horseback riding, gymnastics, whatever else. Don't lie here either, because the panel may ask you about these skills. Have your resume printed on nice paper and make sure you have several copies with you. It's your calling card. And more than one person at the audition may want one for their files. You may also be asked for a headshot. We could do an entire lesson on professional headshots, but we're going to leave that for another time as well.
On the day of the audition, remember that you want to be at your best. You want to show that you have everything it takes to be an excellent cast member, and therefore show up looking your best and be fully warmed up. Make sure you have everything you might need, especially your binder and your resume, but also bring a bottle of water and a change of clothes in case you're asked to stay and dance.
When it's your turn to audition, walk into the room with confidence and greet the panel. Go over to the accompanist, introduce yourself, give clear instructions about your song and the tempo you want to sing it. And once you feel ready, make your way back to the center of the room. Make sure that the panel is focused on you and nod to the accompanist to signal to begin playing. Remember that this is your time. Also keep in mind that the people behind the table want you to be good. They are on your side. They want you to make their job easier. When you're finished singing your first song, don't assume anything. Wait for further instruction. Remain present and in the moment. If they ask you for another song, go back to the accompanist and repeat the steps from there. Wait for the thank you before you start to leave the room. If something goes wrong, take charge of the situation, but try not to make excuses and never blame the accompanist.
Yeah. As an accompanist, I fully stand behind that statement. There have been times when an auditioner has walked in and put sheet music in the wrong key or the wrong song or the wrong arrangement on the piano. And at the end of the audition, stormed out and glared at me like I was at fault for botching their audition. So,
Right. And we all know that once you leave the room with an attitude, pretty much you have no hope of getting cast.
you'll
'Cause
never work in this town again. No.
that's right. Because the director and the accompanist say, now wait a minute, what really happened there? So we get it. As we mentioned earlier, auditioning is its own skill and takes practice.
And the more you audition, the better you'll get at it.
We hope this talk was informative for you, but we know you might have tons of questions.
Tony and I have a 5-day audition intensive series where we take a lot more time on everything that we just discussed, and you'll get practice and feedback and be able to ask a bunch of questions.
That's right, Steve. Each day builds on the day before, and you will not only work with your singing, but also acting and basic dance steps. The series consists of 3 levels. My first audition for the beginner, improving my audition skills for the intermediate, and becoming an audition pro for the career-minded.
At each level, on the 5th day, you'll get the opportunity to do a mock audition for a professional panel, starting with a dance call led by a professional choreographer.
Even though we call it an intensive, Steve and I create a safe space for exploration.
Yes, and you'll get the opportunity for a Q&A with the panel at the end of the mock audition.
This is such a special opportunity because at the end of most auditions, that's it. No feedback, and you're left to second guess yourself. Instead, at the end of our intensives, you'll get an inside perspective from the professionals. For the beginner, in just 5 days, you will walk away with all the basic audition skills you will need and tons of information for you to expand your bag of audition tricks.
We're really glad you attended this sampler, and we wish you well as you begin your auditioning career.
Have a good day.
Bye.